Ding and Patrick.
Okay, you see my screen?
Yep.
You see the YouTube screen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she should come anytime now. It's 4:28 their time.
Yeah, no, I know.
Hello.
Hello, Farah. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. Good. How are you?
Great, great. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you are having a good day so far.
Yes, yes. All is good. How are you?
Great, great. Yeah, everything is going well. We are already in full-fledged fall now. We're starting to feel the cold and the wind sometimes. So I hope it's different over there where you are.
It's still hot in here.
Hot, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here, first of all, Patrick is also here, and he will take over in just a second. But so far, Farah, how is your impression? Can you give us some feedback from your perspective? Are you happy with, what we are providing? Are you using all the data and insight?
Yes, everything is fine. I'm just worried about the differences in number that we are still receiving. So I don't know how we can solve this because I wasn't able to get you access to our analytics. This is not possible.
It's not possible. Okay. Okay, just to be able, if it's not possible, it's not possible. How much difference? Is it a large difference or down, up, or how? How do we compare to the data you are getting?
I can give you like a couple of figures. I'll put them in an Excel sheet for like the last 3 months for our analytics versus yours.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, if there is something more specific, of course, we can, if you tell us, for example, in this particular, I mean, let's take one thing, we can try to dig further to try to explain why, because I think Patrick has alluded.
We've already, yeah, we have resolved that before. The internal versus public. Our analytics are 100% aligned to what is viewed publicly. We had the justifications I sent you, I believe, 4 months ago about the differences between internal and external. Part of it comes down to when videos are deleted internally, they still stay. It also comes down to if you have multiple versions of videos. I don't have the exact details in front of me, but if necessary, we can give you a source directly. We had a conference with YouTube directly. We can give you a source to confirm those. But that's really where the only difference is when it comes down to either deleted or it comes down to duplicate videos, in that case, the internal versus public. Because anytime someone wants to check our numbers, it's always going to be the same as what's listed on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, the thing is, I checked internally with the team who like post the videos and work on them. They said they don't delete any videos. So this is my only concern regarding these figures. Anyhow, I will check the figures again, and I'll send you a couple of figures, and then we can move on from there.
Yeah, we can, of course, revisit and dig further for those specific ones, because if we understand it for one, we know if there is a process that is creating that difference or not. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, let's do that to be able to move forward and reconcile all the numbers and data, because like Patrick was saying, we are getting it right from YouTube. So let's take another look. Okay, I'll stop here about this. Any other concern you have, or is this the only one that continues? Farah, are you there? Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, now I can. I wasn't a little earlier.
Hello?
Yeah, I was asking, any other concern, or is this the only one that keeps on coming up? Yeah, I lost her. Yeah, Patrick, can you hear her? I can't.
You're cutting in and out.
Maybe the connection, Farah, or your microphone.
Yeah, because I'm connecting from home, so I'm having problems with.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's the connection.
Okay, the connection. So probably in and out. But briefly, if you have, like I said, you can email us at the end of this presentation. Hopefully, you'll be able at least to hear what Patrick, we'll have to report here. But also at the same time, if you communicate with us and let us know one metric or one specific thing or two specific things, we'll be happy to take another look just to verify if we can remedy that or, if we can explain it. Okay?
Sure. Sure.
Okay, go ahead, Patrick.
We've taken a look. I'll make sure to cite the resources, maybe have someone from YouTube include the email directly just to make sure there's no confusion when it comes to our end. So.
Okay.
Okay. Aside from that, so I thought first off, is this still a good meeting time for you month to month? You said you had another conflict for personal reasons. Is this still the ideal time for you?
Yes, yes. We can discuss it on monthly basis, but
okay, you broke up. I
Hello?
heard you. Hello?
Hello, yes. Can you still hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. You got cut off. I asked you if this is still an ideal time for you. I didn't know if it was a temporary schedule issue where you would change from 3 to 4:30.
Yes, 4:30 is fine.
Okay. I'll let you. Can you hear me clearly? Am I cutting out or is it only on your end?
No, I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, I'll keep it more talking then and wait less for feedback in that case. So first of all, yeah, I thought what would be most effective here, we do have 3 months since we've spoke. I think it's redundant unless you have a request to go through July and June insight. I was just going to go through each of the recommendations to make sure they're very clear, then have a bit of a shorter walkthrough through the insight overall for August.
Yes, I agree. We can go through the recommendations because the figures I already went through them in the reports.
Okay. Aside from that, I wanted to make sure you'd noticed the 2 key changes structurally. We had reported in June the fact that YouTube made a large change to their subscribers. I wanted to make sure that was received and that's clear on your end. What that was, that's clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Comments. I had emailed you last month and told you, up until this point, we do have a higher level subscription to include actual comments. We were only including video comments, but we didn't see significant activity month to month on channel-based comments, so I just integrated it at, I'm sure it's a lot more relevant to get the total comments for each channel. So I wanted to make sure that was noted. That was listed in your in the last month report.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, getting right to it. For June, our core recommendation was that channels are beginning to use multi-language in their publishing. So what this is pretty straightforward is they're releasing the same videos in multiple different languages, and in the case study that we cited here, they had approximately a 300% increase using 9 different languages on videos. And the reason why this is working very effectively is because most of the videos, people are coming from outside YouTube. From a SEO perspective, they're getting indexed 9 different times, and Google is not considering it duplicate content. So I know this is a very aggressive strategy. It's something that might have some legal implications in your end depending country to country, but if it's something that would be feasible on your end, it would definitely have a dramatic effect, and the overall awareness and particularly the views in this case would skyrocket dramatically if any of your properties had decided to move forward with this.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting for us because we have the Arabic channel, English channel, we have the Turkey and Balkans, so we can have the same video in different languages.
Okay. The only other detail I'll let you know, we've done this for a client already on this case. The 2 ways to do this, we've spoke to the 20th century as well, is you can either automate it and use default translation tools, or of course you can have someone manually do it. When it's automated with translation tools, the turnaround, it still can be done pretty real time. It just needs to be integrated to your publisher. You use one program, you automatically create all the titles, etc., and can be fed directly into YouTube. So I won't dig too deep there, but if you needed any assistance, if your team did want to do that, you could reach out, and our technician who's already had experience can help you move forward in a very straight line manner.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay. Aside from that, I'll just show the last example just to keep things clear here. This was a popular movie release around here, and here's an example. I believe the link's cited within the report, but here's just example. It's pretty simple concept to make sure to go the title as well as the description within. And once again, the fact that it is listed as a separate entity without any penalties.
Mm-hmm.
All clear? Can I move on?
Yes.
Okay. What we had cited in July as our primary recommendation was this is actually very, very relevant because it's something that everyone's had an issue with YouTube for a long time is YouTube only has allowed endorsements internally to other YouTube links. You know, obviously for the sake of abuse or someone who has a viral video who may want to send to an unscrupulous site. Just in the last few months, they've allowed corporations to make custom requests. I'm bringing up this example from, I don't know if you're familiar with the Star Wars franchise, but it's the company Disney in U.S. And this is the most mainstream example, but they're allowing them to link outside of YouTube. So in their any place in their video, they're able to get more Twitter followers. They're able to take it directly to, in this case, their primary domain. So we do have the contacts if needed, and this is a very, very strong recommendation because it's something that the entire community has been asking for a long time, and now they're allowing it, and the permissions needed is just really just comes down to contacting the corporate department and verifying that you're not going to abuse the privilege in this case. I don't think it's something that would be difficult to get. Once a request is made, it should be implemented within a month or two. And once again, as you know, that's going to have a much more dramatic effect because right now all you can really prompt someone to do is subscribe or go to a particular video. But if you can start using these billions of views per month to get people to your primary properties, that'll have a dramatic change. So. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. You have any questions, or are we pretty clear there, Farah?
Yeah, it's very clear. This is very interesting for us because we've been working on cross-marketing for the channels. So this way we can drive traffic from our YouTube to the other platforms we have.
Okay. Yes, and other than that, I forgot to bring up, I'm not sure you were aware or not, but one of our recommendations from 3 months ago was for the consistent labeling of each of your channels. I don't know whether or not you're in the loop, whether or not you're in the know here, but you did move forward with that recommendation. So now all of your channels, if you can see on the screen, have the same format and editing. It looks much more professional versus beforehand there was a lot of inconsistencies, lowercase, and different labeling.
Yeah.
And aside from that, let me ask you, Farah, for our knowledge in your industry, was there any reason that July was the peak month? Is that usual in media as a whole, or was it just coincidental in that case? Because if you saw across the board in July, there were significant increases in just about every market you were competing in.
It's because of the war in Gaza. This is why.
Okay,
we had the platforms.
Okay, I didn't hear everything you said, but I heard the general gist because of the conflict. Well?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly because we went through other, and I will focus on this recommendation. The market was Al Jazeera English, most notably the top three or four tier of BBC World News, Russia Today, Al Jazeera English all dropped, while the next tier from France 24 English all the way down to CNN International had significant gains. So this is, of course, relevant because up until now it has been a very, very clear separation from the first tier to the second. And if this trend continues, of course, those become emerging threats aside from just the usual Russia Today and BBC World News in the market itself. We've highlighted a couple of them that had particular large increases. France 24 English and Fox News all had over 100% increase in their key metrics. And France 24 English in particular tripled the amount of videos produced, doubled their views, tripled their comments, etc. So it's pretty obvious that content produced has a direct correlation in this case. So these are the threats to take a closer look at in the near future. CCTV, like a few of these, continues to be an outlier. They're not relevant in any capacity. So in a few months, if you ever want to revisit who's the relevant competitors, they're one of them that we would recommend is no longer relevant for the market.
Yeah.
I believe they have every month but one. Russia Today had the most influential video in the market. Al Jazeera Arabic. Most relevant for Al Jazeera Arabic is this is the market that's the most competitive. Aside from English, has traditionally had 3 outliers. Al Jazeera Arabic has 12 different companies with relevant market share. This, of course, means it's just worth taking a much closer look in this case because there's potential for more competition, and you have to stay on top accordingly to make sure you stay at the top of the market. So, Al Jazeera Arabic, I'm sure you know, had healthy increases pretty much across the board. They had slight decreases in subscribers and comments, but all the other key metrics had increased. Primary competitor Al Arabiya decreased significantly. After last month, they saw the complete opposite trend as a whole. So that's very relevant as they're currently, they've been pretty consistently ranked number 2 overall. And the next tier as well continue their upward trend. The last 3 months, for the most part, they've been increasing, and they've shown slight increases, and they have been consistent. So, of course, like anything, you just have to make sure to retain your lead in this sense. So, as before, Al Alam is a complete outlier. They have pretty much no content produced, so it's just something worth noting in the future if you want to revisit who are the key competitors, to not judge the ones who aren't going to really have an effect unless usually small competitors, if they're doing anything especially innovative, that's where you're going to want to take a close look. In their case, they really don't have their act together. They're not producing consistent content, and nothing worth taking a close look at. So. In the documentary market, I'm sure you know, the Net Geo Abu Dhabi for the 3rd month hasn't produced any videos whatsoever. So, of course, that's resulted in Al Jazeera documentary having a pretty clear hold in this market. All of the metrics, the metrics for the market have been decreasing as a whole, but because there's only 2 competitors, it's pretty open shut. They're not doing much in any capacity, and you continue to produce content, which has given you a clear competitive advantage. This is a positive note because our very first 2 months we tracked in February and March, Net Geo Abu Dhabi did have better results for those individual months. So now that they've backed off, it's of course showed in the raw results. And Al Jazeera documentary had the more influential video this month as well. Mubashir Misra, the overall market heads decreases across the board. And the majority of these were because of MBC Masra. They had in the past been increasing. Last month they more than doubled. This month they went down extremely dramatically. So that's very worth noting because that was one of your most consistent emerging threats you had to be concerned with. Industry leader has stayed relatively stable. One of the key points of that is overall sentiment has been increasing significantly in that case. And aside from that, I think it's pretty straightforward in this market. Is the MBC Masra is the one that was the big concern. They've went down, and hopefully that trend continues. Mm-hmm. Any questions about any of the data inside this month or the last couple, or is everything pretty clear?
Everything is clear.
Okay. Now for our recommendation here. Our recommendation for this month is particularly is for your larger channels. Many channels have been implementing a introduction video. What this means is once I click, if I'm watching a video and I suddenly click on the channel page itself, the primary video listed here, instead of having most default, the most recent video, what you would want to have is a video that's between 30 seconds and 2 minutes, probably closer to 30 seconds, that introduces the channel as a whole. So in this example, as opposed to having recent content, you would have a custom video that said, "Welcome to Al Jazeera Arabic. We are, give what your mission statement, whatever you want to say." As you see here, using our channel, the most popular videos are listed below. Subscribe to the right, etc., etc. This is a video that's. This is a strategy that none of your. Sorry, were you saying something?
No, go ahead.
Okay. This is a strategy that none of your current competitors you're tracking are using, but quite a few of smaller media outlets have been using it with very, I think it's pretty common sense, but they've had good results and good engagement as a whole. There's been multiple media outlets that are using the same video for both a YouTube as well as the homepage on their site. So when you talk about cross-channel integration, multi-property, it makes a lot of sense. And it makes a lot of sense because for all of the first-time videos who aren't subscribers, a lot of people still don't understand how YouTube is laid out. They don't understand how to subscribe. They don't understand any of this. So having a short video sticky every time someone checks out the channel, which prompts them, can have a very significant effect. Now, lastly, with that, anytime in content, web properties, you have a call to action where you actually ask the user to do something. In this case, the end would say, feel free to subscribe by clicking here. It's always a much higher percentage they will versus them doing it intuitively. So that's it. I mean, I pretty much made that similar explanation there. Is that pretty clear to you?
Yes, yes, very clear.
Okay. Do you have any other questions? Anything, any other data changes you've made? Anything about the recommendations, or is everything straightforward?
Oh, everything is pretty clear.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, that's all we have. Do you think it's still relevant? You know, I know you weren't able to make a couple months. Is it still relevant to speak monthly? Is it still, can we still plan on a month-to-month around the same time, or were the last 2 months just particular schedule conflicts?
Yeah, we can keep it at 4:30. If I had something in particular, I will let you know.
Okay. Inad, do you have anything else, or are we
No,
okay?
that's it. I think, we'll keep it right to the point, and we'll be expecting to receive your email again with the specific, like we said, the metrics for us, just to continue, even though we looked at it before, but, we'll be happy to take another look and dig deeper, basically, to try to uncover any other reasons that might have emerged.
Yeah, sure. I'll collect the data and send it to you as soon as possible, and then we can have another discussion regarding these figures.
Sure, no problem.
One
Yeah.
thing, Farah, if you can make sure to timestamp the data in case it's sent a couple days, I just want it done exactly so we can compare it exact. So.
I'll at this month, like June, July.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just meant timestamp, meaning the exact days. A lot of times the internal YouTube has a 30-day metric instead of month, so just to make sure we have it to the day, whether or not it's, the 1st to the 30th versus 1st to 1st, etc.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
No.
all right, well, thanks a lot. I hope everything well, and I look forward to talking next month. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, Farah, and نهار سعيد إن شاء الله.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. Bye.